Hi, I'm Kamna, and you're watching Appian Live Expert Cut, when we bring the experts back into the office to discuss the events they've been to, the trends they're seeing, and everything else executives need to know. Today, I'm here with Terry Robinson, our Vice President of Life Sciences. Hey, Terry.
Hi, Kamna. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for the invitation to be here today.
Of course. You were recently in Boston for the Drug Information Association Global Conference, or DIA. How was it?
It was great. It's where you bring 6,000 people together from life sciences from all over the world, and they talk about the latest and greatest in clinical trials, in managing regulatory information management, in technologies and how they can drive more efficiency into both the R&D side of the business and getting products to market, and also for the full life cycle management of their products.
The audience at DIA was the usual suspects, right? So you've got your chemists, your professionals in pharma, but as well, there were a lot of IT professionals. So what do you think that says about the industry right now, and where do you think it's going to go in the next couple years?
Yeah, great question. So really, if you think about life sciences, it's always been all about innovation. And with technology, especially information technology, that's really how they're going to get a lot of the innovation done efficiently. And so it's an exciting time to be with Appian because Appian actually is driving efficiency and transforming how clinical trials get done. But also some of the big buzzwords were really all about artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotic process automation, and blockchain. And those were areas where I think in probably 50% of the conversations and sessions that were held, those were priority. So Appian really ties into all of those, and we had many people inquiring about those technologies on our platform.
One big buzzword that was thrown around at DIA was farm tech. Can you explain what farm tech is?
A lot of people have heard the term fintech for financial technology, and farm tech is really the same. It's what is the life sciences industry doing to drive technology and innovation through digital transformation? And I think that's where the farm tech ties in. It's really about mobile. How are they using mobile and devices? There are a lot of sensors now that we're all wearing with Fitbits and other things, and how can we tie that data into streamlining how trials get done more efficiently and really driving personalized medicine, because different people respond in different ways.
So how does Appian help with implementing these types of advanced technologies?
People want end-to-end. When you think about life sciences, especially on the R&D side, you have clinical operations, you have regulatory, you have pharmacovigilance, which is essentially global safety. And when you knit and tie all of those end-to-end, you can actually streamline the time it takes to get clinical trials done. But also in life cycle management, there are studies that are conducted post-launch, to get new indications and new uses for medicines. And again, that's another area where we can tie in and drive additional efficiency.
13 of the top 20 pharma companies have announced plans to use AI. How can Appian help with this?
Again, artificial intelligence has been around for many decades. We're just now starting to really adopt it using Appian in several areas. Machine learning certainly would be one, and robotic process automation would be another. So again, it's really being able to take and drive efficiency with new information and data to make decisions. It's that transparency and visibility that wasn't there before.
So Terry, at DIA, we had a joint session with one of our customers, IQVIA, on moving beyond the cloud. What else have we done with this customer?
Well, IQVIA is one of the largest CROs, contract research organizations in the world, and they're very focused in driving clinical trials and managing thousands of them for their sponsors, which are most of the large pharma companies and med device companies. Appian and IQVIA together are very powerful in that our platform provides a lot of speed and efficiency in running and managing those trials.
A major theme in pharma right now is empowering the patient and focusing on patient value. How does technology enable that?
So great question. It is all about the patient. Many pharma companies have actually established positions, chief patient officer. And what they're doing is really thinking about patients are empowered. When you think about the internet and where you go to research a certain disease state, there are companies that have looked and purchased companies that have been started by parents of patients, for orphan diseases. There's a lot of attention on that. And so what's happening is technology is really driving, whether it's through GoFundMe to raise money to start, launching attention to a specific orphan disease, or whether it's when you think about like Airbnb and Uber and just the ease of use, right, in getting a car or staying at a hotel. It's going to be the same thing when you look at medicines for patients. Personalized medicine is another area. And some of the devices and data that we talked about earlier, those, just the power of that data coming together with whether it's a CRO or whether it's closer ties to a patient with a given company that focuses on a disease state like maybe MS. There is a biotech company out there that treats 6 out of every 10 patients with MS, and they want to stay close to those patients so they can help them understand when there are advances in managing a certain disease. So there's a lot of rationale for this. It's technology where patients are more aware, but I think it's also about precision in where you're able to treat patients based on their DNA. And so getting all of that data tied together so you can even do trials potentially in minutes versus years.
It's fascinating.
That's what's possible with some of the things we talked about.
It's incredible.
And it's great to be a part of it. Appian really, sits and integrates with a lot of those different technologies to drive, again, that speed to market and tightening the window of getting to treatment.
Well, thank you so much for being on today's show, Terry. This was Appian Live Expert Cut. Thanks for watching.